Hi, this is Stephen with Fairs Management Interactive, and we welcome the members of the Texas Association of Fairs and Events. This video is a guided tour of an actual online application we've created to make a comprehensive library for event planning and facility management of those member fairs. So just to get started, we're going to go ahead and begin showing you some of the tools and how they work. This video is of the actual online planner, and it's ready for you and your members to try out and to request more fairs to be added to the library. So let's get started. So we begin by choosing from our drop-down menu, and we pick the facility and the floor plan that we'd like to edit. And to do a multiple booth layout, we simply pick the number of aisles and the booth sizes and the separations, and then it creates it automatically numbering them, and we can change the numbering system. Then, as you can see, as we begin to delete booths, we can create a larger booth, and we can also delete booths to create a cross aisle. Now, what is truly unique about the Fairs MI system is what we call the icon system, which means that we can create custom objects, whether it be a gooseneck trailer or a dumpster or a tent or anything special. We can create out of these icon lists that you see here. Now, some of them are just simple symbols, and some of them are objects that are typical to a fairground, and some of them are things like table rounds that are numbered to create banquet setups. So here we're going to go ahead and choose our icon that is a round table, which is numbered. We make it a 6-foot round. We create some separations. We make it the stagger layout, which is that X layout we're familiar with banquets, and there it is, automatically numbered for you. Now we can go ahead and edit this layout by deleting a few tables. And then with that editing, we're going to create a stage. And we go ahead and move it in place, and we go ahead and create the proper sizing for the stage. Label it and drag it into place. And instantly we have a banquet set up that we can assign the attendees to the individual table locations. Now, applying that icon system to outdoor areas, let's go ahead and look at a rodeo setup and look at some of the objects that we may want to create with that. So I've gone ahead and created, this is what we call a pod, which is a grouping of booths. This is just a single pod. And I'm going to go ahead and edit and make copies of these to create objects that we may have on a rodeo or a livestock sale entry. So now what I'm going to do is make a cattle truck semi, which approximately 72 feet by 14 feet. We're going to go ahead and take the numbering out of it. We're going to hit OK. Now, rather than just use a white square, we have an icon that allows us to choose the cattle semi. And there it is. And we can locate these semis on site to reserve space for them. Here we're rotating it. Now let's go ahead and make a copy and rotate it. We can rotate to exactly the same rotation and drag it into place. Now, one of the things that's familiar are the bleachers. Let's go ahead and make a copy of a bleacher. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and rotate that into place and add a little bleacher at the corner of our arena. Now we see it's not quite the way we want it. It's very easy to adjust the angle. Now it's a little better. Now another object that's familiar on the rodeo set would be the gooseneck horse trailer. Let's look at a 3-stall gooseneck horse trailer, and we have the specifications for that in drawings, and we can actually take that drawing and apply it to an icon. And this is something that you, the member, can submit to us, the icons that you would like to have to use for your planning. So now we're going to choose the gooseneck trailer. We hit OK, and there it is. And this allows us to start placing the space planning for those types of objects. We've made some copies and stacked them up. Now we can do larger layouts too. Let's go ahead and look at a sorting pen for livestock. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it way out here, and I'm going to click on the booth that we're going to convert to a sorting pen. We're going to call the sorting pen 120 feet by 120 feet. You can scale it anything you want. We're going to take the label out of it. Now you can go ahead and label these if you like with alphabetical or names. There again, we've made the square white placekeeper, and we go down and choose the sorting pen, and now you've got it. Now you can submit to us any configuration for sorting pen that you would like to add in, or corrals, or any kind of fencing configuration that you want to assemble for your event. You can see that we can also, if you submit the drawings, it can actually have details for you on that too. I think this is a good place to pause and say that what we're proposing is to work with the TAFE to create a comprehensive library of all their members' facilities that their members can use for planning and facility management, and that there is no cost associated with this. And we want to be transparent about what we get out of this. We do have a full-powered paid subscription to the same software, and what we want is the membership to be fully comfortable and confident with the tools before they decide to take advantage of it or not. And we found that this is the best method to sell our software. Allow folks the opportunity to try it out over a period of time, ask questions, make suggestions, and then all our customers are enthusiastic users. We're not here to change the industry. We're only here to provide the best tools available. So now here's an interesting tool, which is the measure distance tool. Pretty obvious from its description. You take these crosshairs and you pull them over to the inside of a building or outdoors, and it will measure straight across your width or X dimension. You can pull it straight down and it measures your Y or length dimension, and you don't have to have them exactly aligned. It's an absolute vertical or horizontal measurement. Now here's your radial measurement, which is the actual distance between the 2 points and the area. Now we can do that, and we can calculate parking spaces, or we can use the Fairs MI tool that allows us to lay out groups of booths, only now we're going to make them parking spaces. So we create the size of the booth space, the parking space, and the width of the aisles, and how many parking spaces in a row, and how many aisles. We create the orientation for it, and there it is. There's one group. Now, these are already numbered, so your parking spaces are numbered, and we can actually click on the last parking space, pick up its number, and then make the next number for the starting number for the next group of parking spaces. And of course, now we will repeat that again. Grab that last number, see that it's 178, so we make that 180 for our beginning number. Just click New, and there's our parking area already laid out. Now, if we need to pick up some space, we can reduce the parking sizes by inches, or the aisles by inches, and we can pick up some of those spaces we need. Right now you can see I'm deleting some of the parking spaces to make room for your egress of your access for your area at the end. And that's how quickly you can figure out your parking spaces. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at the numbering on the parking spaces. Now keep in mind that this can be applied to RV or campsite rentals. And we use the same tools that we would label exhibitor booths with the exhibitors or vendors, in that we can label these parking spaces or RV camping spaces with the occupier. It all works the same. So let's go ahead and look at an exhibit building. Now we're going to go ahead to our list and pick from the facility and the floor plan that we'd like to look at. Now when we zoom in, with the way the FAIRS MI floor plans are created, the line work remains very clear all the way up. And this allows for some very small and fine detail work in terms of what objects you want to drop in and lay out into your system. With our measure distance tool, we can pull that up and grab the crosshairs, take one to the upper left-hand corner of the hall and the other crosshair to the lower right-hand corner of the hall, and we get, of course, our length and width different distances. And this gives us a general idea of how many booths that we can fit in the space. Now the advantage to the FAIRS MI tools are, with just an approximation, it makes it very easy to adjust and redrop in an adjusted layout. But let's see what happens here. Looks pretty good. And so there you see how quick it is to create a layout that's automatically numbered. Now we can choose a booth and we can assign a exhibitor. We can create a product description. And we can create a status for that booth, whether it's sold or reserved or a future expansion booth. Now when we go to our exhibitor data and click on that booth, now we have that information. Now this also gets generated in a exhibitor list that can be displayed and printed. It also is available as a public access plan that allows your visitors to go and see who's in what booth. This planner isn't just limited to your staff members. You can provide a dedicated secured access to third-party contractors. Normally this would be your interim events and the independent event contractors, but this can also be applied to fair time, where you give a dedicated independent access to your Carnival, Midway, amusement ride contractors, allowing them to lay out their rides and coordinate with your food concessions and other surrounding vendors. For an independent event management company that is contracted at your exhibit hall, they are provided your planner on a limited basis, with their access only available to their own event. And we at FAIRS MI work directly with those subcontractors, helping them with learning how to use the tools and setting up their event planning, creating a value-added service for your facility. And there's no expense to you. In terms of your Carnival, Midway, amusement ride contractors and providing them the planner to lay out their configurations on site to help coordinate with your layouts, we have an extensive library of amusement park rides that have been created from industry specifications so that they're to scale, with each ride labeled with the industry convention names, and just a simple drag and drop process for your Carnival contractors to lay out their setups on your event. Thanks so much for taking a look at this video introduction to the interactive online site that we've created for the TAFE members. There's guided lessons on that site and on our website. To the TAFE membership, we invite you to contact us for more details on our proposal to set up a free access interactive planner library for all your members. And to the members themselves, we invite you to contact us to add your facility to our demo site. Thanks again so much from FAIRS Management Interactive, or FAIRS MI.